What is up, you guys? Welcome back to our class. This is your Pharmacy Informatics, and for today's topic, we'll be talking about the internet. Okay, for our learning outcomes, we will have the following: the basic terms used in your internet, a brief history of your internet. We'll be talking about the key ingredients to access your internet, and we'll be talking about internet sites and domain name modifiers, and also your quality of sites and consideration in evaluating internet sites and the advantage and disadvantage of using the internet. But before that, we'll be having a famous quote by Mr. Zig Ziglar. He said that information makes new and fresh ideas possible. And yun lang. Just want to share that famous quote by Zig Ziglar. So let's proceed to our first learning outcome, which is the basic key terms used by the internet. So what are these basic key terms? We have the www, your URL, your TCP and IP, your HTML, and your ISP. Let's start with your www. Your www stands for World Wide Web. Your World Wide Web is a wide information system where documents are stored. So dito, nag-i-store tayo ng mga iba't ibang documents like videos, files, yan. Sa World Wide Web natin siya ini-store, and napakalawak ng ating World Wide Web. Next is your URL. URL stands for Universal Resource Locator. So your URL is usually the address of a World Wide Web page. Makakuha ba yun? Kumbaga, sa bahay, siya yung number ng bahay. Address. Okay? So again, your URL is the address of a World Wide Web page. Next is your TCP and IP, which means Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. So what is your TCP IP? Your TCP IP is a networking standard that allows two or more computers to communicate. Nakuha? Okay, without your TCP IP, there would be no communication among computers. Next is your HTML, which stands for your Hypertext Markup Language. Your HTML is used to create electronic documents, and yung electronic documents na yun, yung tinatawag nating pages. Yun yung pag na-access na natin. Yun yung nag-create ng pag may pinuntang kang isang page, ang ginagamit doon ay HTML. Basic key terms lang tayo. And of course, your ISP, which is your Internet Service Provider, like kung anong ginagamit mo ngayon, your Globe, your Smart, your PLDT, and so on. So those are the basic key terms used in your internet. Now, we will proceed to a brief history of the internet. So, huwag kayong mainip, huwag kayong magalit kasi brief history lang to. So, in 1969, there was the development of your ARPANET. ARPANET stands for Advanced Research Project Network. So, your ARPANET is the technical foundation of the internet. In 1980s naman, there are already large central computers, and the Unix software was developed, which was developed by your UC Berkeley. In 1990s, there is now the transmission of multimedia messages. Ang famous dito noon ay ang Yahoo. The first internet browser was also developed by the NCSA Mosaic. Your reading assignment is to know the meaning of your NCSA. By the way, your NCSA Mosaic was developed by the University of Illinois. So ano ba itsura ng NCSA Mosaic? Papakita ko sa inyo. Ganito ang itsura niya nung na-develop siya. So, ganyan ang appearance ng web browser nung 1990s. Tinawag siyang NCSA Mosaic. Okay, there you have it. And now, we will proceed to the key ingredients used to access your internet. Number 1 would be your hardware, and number 2 would be software. So, these two key ingredients are necessary to access your internet. Let's talk about the first key ingredient, which is your hardware. Your hardware is usually a physical property na pwede nating hawakan, like your CPU, your monitor, and your mouse. Not that mouse, this mouse. So, ibang hardware pa like your hard disk, ano pa, your modem. So, those are necessary accessories or ingredients to access your internet, which is classified as a hardware. Next key ingredient that we will be talking about is called your software. And software natin, usually sila yung dina-download natin, like your Microsoft Office, your Google Chrome, your Mozilla Firefox, your Paint, your Skype, and yung mga bago ngayon like your Zoom. Marami ng bagong softwares na ginagamit ngayon. Like sa Microsoft 10, meron na tayong Edge. Yung una, Internet Explorer lang siya. Ngayon, may advancement na tayo. So, those are examples of your softwares. So again, those are the necessary key ingredients for you to access the internet. Wow. Now we will proceed to the internet sites and domain name modifier, like your .edu, .gov, .com, .mil, and your .biz. Marami pang iba, pero these are the most common ones. .edu means which stands for education. So an example is your wesleyan.edu.ph. .gov is for. So those are the key ingredients for you to access the internet. Again, your hardware and your software. Now we will proceed to our internet sites and domain name modifier. And examples include your .edu, .gov, .com, .mil, and .biz. So these are the most common domain name modifiers. .edu, which stands for education, and an example is your wesleyan.edu.ph. .gov naman is for your government. An example is your fda.gov.ph. .com naman, which stands for commercial and is used by mostly commercial websites. An example is your very famous FB or your facebook.com. And .mil, which stands for military, like your army.mil.ph. And biz is for your business. An example is your Baguio Biz. So now we will proceed to our next learning outcome, which is the quality of sites. Remember, we had an activity wherein I asked you to classify the information if it is high quality, medium quality, or low quality. First, we'll be talking about high quality. High quality sites are well recognized and has a reputable sponsors. Examples are the following: your government agencies, news services, academic institutions, and your health organizations. So these are all considered high quality sites. Next is our medium quality sites. Medium quality sites are not well recognized but are reputable. When we say reputable, they have good reputation. They use known sources and their intent is to serve. Highlight includes the following: unbiased and with reference, wherein these reference are sectioned into site provider, content, qualification, address, phone number, and your email address. Next is the low quality sites. Low quality sites are only selling products. They are catalogs and mainly prices are posted. Usually are biased because they only want to sell products and they have no qualification. So those are the basis for classifying the quality of site. Okay, so now let's proceed to our second to the last learning outcome, which is the consideration in evaluating your internet sites. First that we need to consider is the source of information. Again, that's why we need to know kung high quality site siya, medium quality, or low quality site. And another information about resources or about literature is knowing if it is a primary, secondary, or a tertiary resource. We also need to know the type of information provided and make sure that the information are up to date. We will not be using information that are way back matagal na. Okay? So now let's proceed to our last learning outcome, which is about the advantage and disadvantage of using the internet. Let's start with the advantage. The advantage of using your internet is that we acquire more current information. And just by typing a keyword, we are able to access faster information. Again, keyword lang i-type mo, ibibigay na yan sa inyo ng internet kung anong information yung gusto nyong makuha. Next is that it is an interactive source because you get to exchange information using the internet. Diba? Nakakapagpalitan tayo ng information like what we are doing right now. The disadvantage is that older informations are harder to get. Yung pinaka unang-una kasi nga nung unang panahon documentations lang ginagawa nila. Kaya yung iba, they are trying to convert this old information into ebooks. Again, another disadvantage is that if you have a low internet speed, diba? Kailangan mabilis yung internet mo to get faster information. And sometimes there is a disadvantage of reliability. Like yung sa famous na Wikipedia which is editable. Okay? So that's it for your internet and see you on our next class.